So, good morning. This morning I want to talk about a couple of things that I've incorporated in my practice over the years, and it's gratitude for the joys and sorrows and mysteries and awe of life. And, we talk about here this continuous interplay of experiences and the complexity of our lives. And it includes the extremes of joy and sorrow, and then it also includes mystery and awe. And it unfolds in these contrasting ways, in ways that we don't really have control over. So, for instance, we might experience moments of profound joy, but then it's offset with periods of sorrow. Or we might experience this bewildering, confusing mysteries, and then we'll step into a place of breathtaking awe, just the beauty of things around us. And these contrasts are not a flaw of existence. They're the very nature of existence as the Buddha described it. This cycle of conditioned existence that we all navigate. And these experiences are not only inevitable, but they're also essential as teachers, as helping us understand the nature of existence. In other words, the Buddha's teachings provide a framework for navigating these experiences with mindfulness, with wisdom, and compassion. And, it allows us to embrace the fullness of life without being trapped by this fleeting highs or fleeting lows, or clinging to either the fleeting highs or the fleeting lows. As we talk about here practically every week, the core teaching of impermanence, that everything in life is subject to change. These joyful moments arise, then they fade. These sorrowful moments arise, and then they go as well. And it's just kind of a constant flow that comes and goes. And this understanding of the impermanence of these experiences, it in no way negates the value of the joy or the pain of sorrow. I mean, those are very real. But what it does, it offers us perspective that frees us from clinging to the joys or pushing away the sorrows. So it's the perspective of impermanence that creates the spaciousness, which allows us to not cling and not push away. When we experience joy, we savor it in the moment, we're grateful for it, but without attachment, because we know it is transient. We know it is temporary. We understand that our experiences of joy, of wonder, and awe are also impermanent. The Buddha's teachings help us fully embrace these moments without clinging to them. When we witness a spectacular sunset or the warmth of a loved one, we appreciate these experiences completely in the moment, but understanding their transient nature. Where we get into trouble is clinging to them, not letting them, not wanting them to go, and when they do go, we suffer. And the perspective of impermanence and the spaciousness it creates helps liberate us from the anxiety of trying to make permanent that which is inherently temporary. I mean, this comes up in our lives every day. So instead of desperately grasping at moments of happiness as though we could hold on to them, we receive them as gifts. We're grateful for them, we have gratitude for them, and then we recognize they're going to fade away. We appreciate their beauty precisely because they will not last forever. If they last forever, we would just get used to them, we would habituate to them, they would be just old news pretty quickly. Likewise, when sorrow arises, we endure it with patience because we know that this too shall pass. Suffering, as we always talk about, is an inescapable aspect of our human existence. But this teaching does not advocate for pessimism or despair in response to our suffering, to our sorrow. Rather, this path invites us to recognize that sorrow, whether from loss, from aging, from illness, from the constant flux of our circumstances, is just woven into the fabric of life itself. It is part of the journey. So when we experience grief, when we experience disappointment, we're not experiencing an aberration. It's not some crazy thing that happens. Rather, we're participating in the universal human experience. And this recognition alone, I think, can bring us profound relief. Our sorrows are not personal failures, nor are they cosmic punishments from somewhere else. They are the natural expressions of a reality that is governed by impermanence. You know, think of the seasons. Just as winter follows autumn in nature's rhythm, periods of difficulty naturally arise in the cycles of our lives. And that's what is so deeply practical about this teaching. You know, for example, in moments of great happiness, as I said a moment ago, we fear it is going away because it is going away. And that takes over. It prevents us from fully appreciating the moment. It preoccupies us. Oh, I want this to last forever. And in the meantime, it's gone. Similarly, in moments of sorrow, we feel consumed by despair, believing it's going to last forever. But by recognizing the impermanent nature of all emotions, we cultivate equanimity, a balanced state of mind that neither clings to pleasure or resists pain. The Buddha wants us to welcome all experience, but see it as temporary and impermanent. Now, let's talk about mystery and awe for a few minutes. These experiences often arise when we encounter something vast, beautiful, incomprehensible. And these often involve a certain element of mystery, you know, that this mystery permeates our existence, the vastness of our consciousness, you know, this intricate interdependence of all phenomena that we talk about, profound questions that have no easy answers. All of these are potentially doorways to deeper understanding. And what it does, it encourages us, it asks us to sit comfortably with uncertainty, recognizing that not knowing is a form of wisdom itself. Let me repeat that, it's critical. Recognizing that not knowing, not being able to figure out the mysteries is a form of wisdom itself. Awe, whether inspired by natural beauty, acts of compassion, moments of spiritual insight, need to be fully embraced because they remind us that there are experiences and phenomena much bigger than us. This humbles the ego, it opens the heart, it puts things in perspective, it creates space for genuine compassion and wisdom to emerge. These moments of mystery often reflect this profound interconnectedness of all things that we've been talking about recently, a principle known as dependent origination, which we've talked about and we'll talk about in the future. I don't want to digress into that this morning, but the bottom line of it is that nothing exists independently. Everything arises due to interconnected causes and conditions. And this interconnectedness, when we pay attention to it, imbues life with a sense of wonder. We begin to see how even the smallest actions ripple through the web of existence. You know, consider standing under a star-filled sky. I mean, it can just, if we really bring present awareness to it, it's pretty amazing. Or witnessing the birth of a child. I mean, when both my kids were born, I just burst into tears. It was such a phenomenal experience to be in the room. These moments of awe remind us of the vastness of life and our humble place within it. It takes us out of the self-centered ego. It encourages us to approach these experiences with mindful awareness, so we deepen our appreciation for the interconnected nature of our existence. Awe can inspire gratitude and it can inspire compassion because it motivates us to live in harmony with others and the world around us. This Buddhist path is not about escaping life's experiences. It's about engaging with them fully and mindfully. So with our practice, we learn to observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment or attachment, and that alone creates spaciousness. It enables us to be fully present with both joy and sorrow, seeing them as opportunities for growth and understanding and non-judgmental awareness. When faced with sorrow, we can acknowledge our pain without being overwhelmed by it. We investigate its roots. We find that it stems from unmet expectations or often attachment to specific outcomes. If we are suffering in the face of some sort of sorrow, we need to look at what are we holding on to. Now, that doesn't mean we don't grieve and we don't hurt and we don't suffer. It just means that if it's going on and on, we need to look at what we're holding on to. Similarly, in moments of joy, our practice allows us to savor the experience without grasping at it, clenching it, or fearing its end. All that does is knock it off the front burner and replace it with, oh my gosh, this isn't going to last forever. This balanced approach is about resilience, even and most importantly, among life's uncertainties. You know, when we talk about suffering or dissatisfaction, remember the Buddha told us that all of us experience suffering in some form. Physical pain, emotional loss, the inevitable reality of change that we don't like. But when we recognize this universal truth and everybody has to deal with it, it can help cultivate compassion. We see that joy and sorrow, we see that mystery and awe are shared aspects that we all experience, all part of the human experience. So then when we encounter sorrow in someone, we offer kindness, we offer support, knowing that we too have suffered or will suffer sorrow down the road somewhere. When we witness someone else's joy, we share in that happiness. This is what's called sympathetic joy in the Brahma Viharas, without envy, understanding that that person's joy does not diminish our own. It is not a competition. So when we embrace the interconnected nature of our experiences, it cultivates a deeper sense of empathy. It cultivates a deeper connection with others. Remember, the Buddha taught the middle way, a path of moderation that avoids extremes. And this applies not only to our actions, but how we relate to life's experiences. So we don't run around trying to seek constant pleasure or run around trying to avoid all discomfort at whatever cost. We approach those things, we open to those experiences with curiosity and acceptance. This is the way it is. Joy and sorrow, mystery and awe, these are forces that are complementary aspects of a rich and meaningful life. And the middle way invites us to find balance in terms of life's dualities. When we encounter joy, we appreciate it without grabbing onto it and clinging tightly. When sorrow arises, we meet it with courage and the knowledge that it too will pass. In the moments of mystery and awe, we let go of the need for certainty. It's a wonderful ground on which to let go of the need for certainty, because we don't have answers. We simply marvel at the beauty of existence. As I said at the beginning, life is a tapestry woven from the threads of joy and the threads of sorrow, from mystery and from awe. These experiences are not problems to be solved. They are realities to be embraced. By understanding the impermanent nature of things, by practicing mindfulness, by cultivating compassion, we navigate these experiences with grace and wisdom. Because our path encourages us to live fully in each moment, we appreciate the richness of life without becoming prisoners to its ups and downs. That's where we suffer. That's where we get stuck. And when we do that, when we don't become prisoners, we transform both joy and sorrow into opportunities for growth. We see mystery and awe as gateways to deeper understanding, which allows us to walk the middle way with an open heart and a clear mind. This interplay of joy and sorrow transforms ordinary existence into something sacred, by which I mean each experience, be it pleasant or difficult, mysterious or clear, is part of our spiritual path toward greater wisdom and compassion. So we don't try to escape the dance of these dualities. Our path invites us to participate fully with awareness into all of them. Because in doing so, we discover that life's apparent contradictions are not problems to be solved. They are aspects of a profound mystery to be lived with grace and understanding. So those are some thoughts this morning on joy and sorrow and mystery and awe.